Hello, my name is Michael Czinkota. I'm a professor at Georgetown University in the field of international business, and welcome to a session on thoughts on international business, marketing, and strategy. In this second segment with Professor Andreas Pinkwart, it gives me great pleasure to reintroduce him ever so briefly. He was the Minister of Innovation, Science, Research and Technology in North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany, the Deputy Chairman of the Free Democratic Party, and of course a Member of Parliament. But for purposes of this segment, we're primarily going to focus on academic dimensions. And here, of course, Professor Pinkwart has been a full professor at the University of Siegen in Germany, and is now that he's leaving politics temporarily, he's returning as professor of business again, and as president of the Handelshochschule Leipzig in Germany, which is a key business school which he will be running as of April of this coming year. I'm very glad to have you here, Professor Pinkwart. Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
I should also mention that Professor Pinkwart is a forward-looking individual. He seems to see things when others don't see them quite yet. For example, I checked, and he wrote his dissertation on chaos and corporate crisis, which, if you think about it, anytime after 2001, that became sort of popular topics. But he did this many, many years before. Also, while he was a minister, he worked very hard on increasing the funding of the academic sector. For example, funding for innovation went up by 25%. The funding for universities went up by about $700 million, and he concurrently provided greater financial autonomy to universities. Autonomy, of course, also means responsibility. The same for students. He helped introduce tuition, which students did not always like, but that's what competition and the market is all about. Now, in reading up on Professor Pinkwart, I saw that one of his big motivating moments was when he discovered the fate of a German Nobel Prize winner, which he was very dissatisfied with. Could you please just recount briefly for us that story?
Yes, it was in 2007, and I was very proud that Peter Grünberg won the Nobel Prize of Physics. And as a responsible minister, I tried to talk to him, and I rang him up and congratulated him, and I was so happy about it. And then I asked him, "Oh, Mr. Grünberg, what are you doing now?" And he said, "Yes, I'm now at the same research center where he worked as a professor, but now he was something like a secretary to his follower on this chair."
And he was handling the mail,
yes,
right?
Yes, he was handling the mail for a short income in the month. And I said, "It's incredible. You need researchers, you need laboratory and other things." But he said, no, he was retired, and then there's any possibility in our country to work as a professor over this time. And then we changed it very quick, and I said, this very important scientist must have the chance to be a senior professor and to get all what he needs to be in the future to one of our best researchers we have.
Great, great. And what a story to hear that the Nobelist being the mailman, just because that's what the rules say. Some years ago, I wrote a report for the World Trade Organization on competition in higher education. And I learned that higher education members, professors, rectors, typically don't like competition. Has that changed? Do they like competition now?
Yes, on the one hand, I think academia likes competition because we want to come to best results, and we make it with best people and best sciences. But on the other hand, there are strong barriers to compete on a transparency field by rankings and other forms of transparency. And that was a not good situation for us in Germany, because the American university was allowed and was had the willingness to compete and to be ranked. And therefore, we started the so-called Excellent Initiative in Germany. And this is a great success for our universities, because now that's not the thinking all universities are the same. But now we can say there are someone who are more excellent than others, and they can also compete with the top universities in America and in other countries.
Speaking about that, if you look at American universities, particularly MBA programs, are there any things you see that you particularly like that we're doing well here?
Yes, I think that America is the #1 country in the world of the field of business schools and MBA programs. And there I think that especially Germany can learn a lot from America, and we have really to improve our programs and strengthen our business schools. In Germany we have the problem that we have a lot of state-financed universities, but not so many private finance. And that's what we also have to change. We need more private funded universities, because then you have a real competition and a better situation for cooperation in the international affairs.
Now with universities, do you see the emergence of a European model, or will it be still the German model, the Italian model, the French model?
We have all our special roots and cultures, and I think that's okay. It could be also help to innovate the system also in other countries, but maybe we come to something like a combination of the American MBA programs and the more European or German based programs. So both together, maybe in the conception we prefer in Germany this free and social market model to bring both elements together and to come to a more sustainable development of companies as well as of our economies. And so maybe we can at the end learn from both sides.
Excellent. Now, when you take over in April at the Handelshochschule Leipzig, that's of course another very different and new step, and you're known for your innovative thinking. Have you already thought about some of the innovations you're going to bring to Leipzig? What are you going to be doing different to let the Handelshochschule shine globally?
Yes, now this is the time between. I have to learn a lot of what is going on in the future before I bring the new concepts. I'm now in a very close dialogue with my new colleagues, also with colleagues in other universities. Therefore, I visited some of the best business schools in the world here in America, in Washington, in Philadelphia, in Boston. And I think it's very important to have a broader decision field, to learn from others, to bring in new ideas, and then to decide what we will do better in the future.
I'm sure you will. Well, Herr Minister, Professor, Doctor, thank you so much for coming. Minister Pinkwart, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.